Okay, let me check this. What's up, chums? Sharky here. Welcome back to another art stream. So, let me know if the music's too loud, but, tonight I'm going to be working on a commission, um, that's, for a group on Telegram. Okay, no problem. So this is a Easter themed piece that I've been kind of putting off for a little bit, just cause I'm just gonna be honest, like, I kinda had a crappy day at work today. I don't really want to get into it, but basically, I have this coworker that's like 3 times older than me, and I don't care. I mean, how old she is, but um, she asked me a bunch of questions, and I'm like, you've been here longer than me. Like, how do you not know how to do everything? She's always bragging about how she's been there for 10 years and she doesn't know how to do anything. I'm like, okay. But like today she was asking me, she was like, "Can you help me order food cuz I didn't pack my lunch?" Mind you, this is like a 60-something-year-old woman. And normally like I wouldn't care, but I literally told her like last week that my DoorDash got hacked, so I had to delete it and I didn't have it anymore. And she was like, she just kind of like got mad and she was like, "Well, what am I supposed to do then?" I'm like, "It's not my fault you forgot your lunch." Like, hey Skylar, I'm glad you liked it. I definitely want to have Alex on more often. Next podcast is gonna be um Kalani again. She sounds a bit entitled. No kidding. She's just always on her time. Like, she only cares about what's convenient for her, and she doesn't really think about how that affects other people. And it's just super annoying. Can't hear who? Can't hear me? Can't hear me? Oh, I was about to say, like, I just checked the stream and it seems like it's working fine. Anyways, yeah, my coworker is like super entitled. She's just on her own time and cares about what's convenient for her. Like, I don't mind helping people out, but but I was just saying, like, the next podcast is gonna be with Kalani again, who is normally on the podcast. But I'm glad you liked the one with Alex. What kind of slideshow? You're a ceiling fan collector. I don't think I've ever heard of a ceiling fan collector. I knew somebody that collected fire alarms, but never ceiling fans. That's interesting. I am also a collector, but I mostly collect like pop culture stuff from my favorite movies. I got a fish this past weekend. I haven't really like done a video on it yet, but I got my BioCube all set up a couple like I think like 3 weeks ago, and my tank got done cycling finally. So like I got a Ocellaris clownfish over the weekend. His name is Picasso, for anybody wondering. I made some posts on Instagram and stuff about it. Mm. What animals are in the picture? So I kind of just generically sketched out a bunch of canine characters, but I'm it was more just for placement of where everybody's gonna be. Um, there's actually a bunch of different animals. So like some of them are gonna be like dogs. I think like at least three of them are canines, and then there's a bear that I haven't drawn yet. One is a bunny, and then I think there's like two pony sonas that I'm supposed to draw, which I haven't gotten around to yet. Um, how do I airdrop you something? Um, if it's just like a link to your channel, you could message me on Telegram if you have the. My Instagram handle is the same thing. Same at for that. I don't really have like a place to send me things other than, well, I guess the Discord also. If you're in the Discord, let me see if I have a link to that. Yeah, so there's a link in the description of this live that has the Discord. Um no, I would prefer you not like airdrop me something or like iMessage me, because I'd have to give you my phone number for that, and I'm not comfortable doing that. So if you want to send it in the Discord, you can, or on Telegram. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to post my phone number on here. Um If you want to tell me the name of the channel, I can look it up later if you want. Okay, so it's literally like your username. I found it. I'll look at it later after the stream. But anyways, I was just talking about my crappy day. I don't know. There's usually like a couple days at work where just I I don't know how else to explain it except for like my people tolerance gets really low. Like people asking me stupid questions or like interrupting me while I'm working and stuff. And I try not to be like a super bitter person. There's times when like I'm trying to focus on stuff and I feel like people are interrupting me. That annoys me. I'm also like, I don't know, headbutting my fiance right now because we're trying to get like immigration stuff in order, which I know we talked about last stream. But it's a lot of money and it's a lot of like planning and you gotta know what you're doing. Instead of working on commissions yesterday, I spent like the whole weekend playing Minecraft by myself. I thought about doing a Minecraft stream one of these nights when I don't feel like drawing because I have it on my PC now, but something's up with my controller for some reason. Like the the sensitivity on the controllers like whack. I need to look at it. Yeah, I was mostly just playing Minecraft yesterday. Trying to relax. I don't know, like there's times when I want to play with friends and then there's times when I kind of just want to play Minecraft by myself because it's relaxing. If that makes sense. Yeah, I've been meaning to with Kalani because, like, she wanted to play a couple nights ago. I really just gotta be in the mood for it, 'cause I don't know. Sometimes I'm just too tired. It's not, well, the new interface for me is the PC, because I've always played on PlayStation or Switch. Switch is my favorite out of all of them because I like how smooth the controls are for that. PlayStation's a close second, but I'm trying to learn how to play on PC, and it's a little, like, my reaction time is a lot slower because I don't know all the buttons. And I know what some people may be like, well, it's the same, like, button interface on PC as it is on PS4. It is if you set it up that way, but I haven't fully set it up yet, so it's kind of confusing to look at. Kind of been getting fed up with these commissions a little bit. Like, I don't mind doing them. I got a commission for 20 stickers, and I'm only on, like, the 6th one, and I'm, like, low-key panicking a little bit. Just because I'm like, oh, I don't know. I mean, he said take your time, but I'm like, I like to get things done in a timely fashion. Is there a spot open still? Hi, Speedy. I was actually curious as to why you weren't in this one, because I noticed you weren't in the chat. Let me see how many people I have currently, and then I'll let you know. Let me see here. Okay. I think I have 11. Dang, I didn't realize. Ah! Dropped my pen. Hold on. I have 11 people right now. What the hell? We can add one more. If you want to be in it, go throw some money at Alex, and I'll add you to it. Only because it's you, Speedy. You're the only exception. Just so you know. If it was anybody else, I'd be like, no. Are the icons still the same size? Or really small? What icons are you talking about? On Minecraft? Or something else? How much? We did spots for 25. So pay Alex and then he will pay me. We're doing a thing. I can't talk about it, like why I'm having people send payments to him first. It'll make sense later, but yeah, just send Alex 25 and then he'll pay me in Minecraft. Icons. Oh, you mean, oh, I know what you mean now. You mean like the little item icons. I play, I recently got a bigger TV within the last year, because when I played on the PlayStation, I played in the living room on my, I think it's a 42-inch TV. I think they made them a little bigger, though. Everything, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen, they're still kind of small on the Switch, but they look bigger on the PC version and the PlayStation version. Yeah. They look somewhat bigger to me. But I'm also playing on a bigger, like, platform, bigger TV, so that could be it too. It's not quite a 50-inch, but it's still pretty big. Way bigger than my old TV. My old TV was like a computer screen size. Sorry if I didn't know what you were talking about at first. Yeah. You would think that they would keep that in mind when they're updating it, because I do know, like, a lot of people that play Minecraft have impairments, so accessibility is very important. And I actually thought, I was thinking the other day actually about making a video about that, because I recently had to fight to get an accommodation at my job, because they're supposed to allow accommodations, and I had to explain, and like it took forever for them to understand like what I was asking, and like how they're supposed to provide that, I guess. Like it's almost like they didn't know. Um Sometimes when I'm doing like individual work, I could talk about it a little bit here. Um when I'm doing individual work, sometimes I need headphones, like noise canceling headphones, because I can't focus. If there's like a lot of background noise or people are talking a lot. And at my job, sometimes people just distract me. So, like, if I don't really need to be talking to anybody, I kind of need headphones. So, it took me literally like from October of last year until February. I'm not joking. February of this year to get that accommodation. And I had to talk to HR like several times, and I couldn't. There's no other way to describe it other than pulling teeth. Like, that's literally what it felt like. I thought it was gonna be easy, and it wasn't like a big accommodation that I was asking for. I know it's ridiculous. Let me tell you, like, I was livid about it, because I'm just like, I thought it would be an easy accommodation. It's just headphones, but they were just like, oh, okay, we need to talk to your boss, and then we also need to talk to your manager. Like, I have an upper boss and then a manager under her, and they just took their sweet time, like, making an appointment to talk to them. Like, it wasn't urgent or anything. They just kind of took their time. And I was irritated. Like, what is HR? So HR stands for Human Resources, and it's basically like anything at your job that has to do with um like humanities, I guess, or like human rights related stuff. So like, for example, if like somebody is being discriminated against, you would go to HR to tell them about that, and they handle those cases. Um, so anything that has to do with like disability discrimination, or like if you need accommodations for disability, or LGBT discrimination, like they deal with all of that stuff. Sexual harassment cases, all that stuff. I think I'm gonna work some more in the background. I just feel like coloring a tree instead. I might actually have to move this tree. Yeah, I've never like heard of what it's called in the UK, but it's very vital for employers to have that, and employees. But the thing that I don't understand is like why it took them so long, because normally something like that, I mean, it's just headphones. Like that's all I was asking for, you know, like during individual work. And I had to fill out a form, which I submitted, but it literally took from like the first week of October was the first time I met with them and filled out the form until February 6th, which I was just like, are you kidding me right now? Should not take that long. And there was no reason, like they didn't even give me like an explanation as to like why it took so long. They were just like, oh, sorry. Yeah. So you're approved. I'm like, okay, thanks. Yeah. I was recently talking to another furry on Telegram about accommodations for his job because he said that he had ADHD too. And I was like, if you feel like you need it, like it's a legal right, it's there. They have to, accommodate you. So if you feel like you need something like that, which is something that I'd like to make a video on eventually, is like, because what people don't understand is like why I'm so passionate about this is because I literally, my degree, like my bachelor's degree that I went to school for, is in rehabilitation and disability services. So I know the laws regarding like the ADA, which is the Americans with Disabilities Act. I know about accommodations because I used to provide them for students at the university I worked at and went to. So I always encourage people, like, if you feel like you need accommodations, you need to talk to your HR department at work and, like, get that. If it's gonna help you do better. And don't ever feel like, oh, they're gonna say no, because, like, then they'd have to accommodate everybody. Because that was something that I was worried about, me having headphones, because nobody else is allowed to have headphones at my work, because they think it's like a distraction. Which is kind of funny, because to me it's the opposite. It's drowning out distractions. But, yeah. So, technically nobody else is supposed to have headphones but me, but people see me wearing headphones, so they wear theirs, and I'm like, I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but like, I don't know. My manager knows though, so like, you know, if she's gonna handle it, she'll handle it. But... Oh, that's interesting. It's not the same in the UK. There's a Disability Discrimination Act that requires a business to accommodate customers and clients. That rule does not apply to employees. That is very interesting. I did not know that. The reason why we have an anti-discrimination law towards people with disabilities here in the States is because there was like a big protest over it. I think like back in I think it was like the 60s or the 70s. Basically there was a lot of protesting over accessibility. So, and JFK was a big part of that too because he was in a wheelchair. So like he kind of advocated for people with physical disabilities, but also like mental disabilities as well. But I feel like when the ADA was made, it was mostly geared towards people with physical disabilities, but it's it's becoming more apparent in the States that we need mental health protection as well, discrimination wise, because you know, like people that have depression and stuff like that and anxiety. But yeah, I watched a documentary on it and have studied it before. There was like a couple like big protests outside of like, I think one was at a library and the other one was I can't remember what state it was in, but yeah, that was a big deal. Hi, Ben. If you employ someone with a disability, it's the employee's responsibility to decide requirements during the interview. They will be employed based on that. See, that is exactly what this law protects against, because if you think about it, like, you know, if I go to an interview and I choose to disclose that I have ADHD, they could be like, you know, without that law of protection against discrimination, they could be like, oh, we don't want to hire you just because you don't. Just because you have ADHD, we don't want to hire you. Even though they don't even know, like, my work ethic, or, like, they don't know me personally. They don't know, like, that I am a hard worker, and you know, I have a reputation of, like, being a good worker. Like, you can ask any of my other jobs that I've had. But just because I have ADHD, they would be like, no, sorry, we don't want to hire you. So this law kind of protects, well, not kind of, I mean, it does protect people from, like, being discriminated against at work. And I think it's supposed to during the interview process, but obviously sometimes people skirt around it, like they're able to find a loophole or something, like, oh, they're not able to do the job to like the standard that we would like. It's complicated for sure. Yeah, that's terrible. I honestly hate that. After they're employed, if they say I have blah blah blah, the employer has no obligation to accommodate their employee. So what happens a lot of times, sorry, I'm not drawing right now, I'm talking, but what happens a lot of times is like, at least in the US, is like people will get fired for just simply like, let's say they have depression, right? If you know anything about depression, like the chronic type of depression where like, you know, or even bipolar disorder, where like you can't get out of bed for like a week, and you have a job. It's extremely hard for people to maintain a job in those cases because of something that they don't have a lot of control over. Like a lot of people say like, "Oh, just get medication." Yeah, medication helps, but it's not a fix. Like same with ADHD medication. Like I take ADHD medication and like yeah, it does help, but it's not a fix. It doesn't get rid of my ADHD. But it does help me focus. But with things like bipolar and depression, like medication can help you, and some people it doesn't help. It just depends on the person. But if you struggle with just coming to work, obviously, they can terminate you for those reasons, but it just depends on the job and it depends on the circumstances. But this law is supposed to help people that have mental and physical disabilities still get jobs and maintain that employment despite having, these issues that prevent them from, you know, maybe working as a neurotypical would, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. Right. Yeah. Hi, Tony. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there for a second. I can't tell you, like, growing up, how many times I heard people say, like, did you take your medicine today? It's so offensive. Like, I find it offensive now. Because it's like, ADHD is just a part of, like, who I am. Like, it's not fixed by medication. Well, one company I worked for, if you got injured on the job, oh man, and not 100% they fired you. I've heard of that stuff happening too, where like, they say like, oh yeah, like you can take this much time off if you're injured or whatever. But most of the time they're just like, oh, we'll replace you. Bye. I don't think it should be like that at all. I just came from a job that was just really, really crappy. Like, barely any insurance, barely any benefits at all. And I think they went bankrupt. Bluey episode. I have seen Bluey, the show. I haven't really finished all the episodes, but I think it is a good show. I don't know what I'm doing with this branch. What is this? I think I like accidentally made coral instead of a tree. Okay, so yeah, because here you can sue them too on basis of, yeah, unfair, like, here it would be discrimination, but yeah, like unfair firing. It really is on a case by case basis. It just depends on the situation and you know, the disorder or the disability. I do wish employers were more knowledgeable and more understanding about disabilities, though. Like, we're learning so much about brains, like the human brain, and like all these different neurodivergent people. You would think like employers would be more knowledgeable on that, but They're really not, and I have firsthand experience of that. Coloring time. I wish. I'm not even close. I'm kind of just messing around. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if I like this or not. Yeah. Might bring it down lower. I love my new fish, guys. Little, Picasso. He's so cute. I was watching him yesterday, and he was like riding the flow pump like a wave. It was cute. I'm thinking about going back to the fish store and getting a shrimp in the next couple weeks. I used to have one. I used to have a scarlet skunk shrimp, which is one of my favorites. It's saltwater, in case you haven't seen my tank, but I love shrimps. They're so cute too. It's kind of weird though, because they shed their little like exoskeleton. The first time like I ever had that happen with my shrimp, I thought it was another shrimp. Like, I woke up in the morning and I saw like I didn't have my contacts in, so I couldn't really see what I was looking at. But I was looking in the tank and I was like, wait, there's two shrimp in there. I only have one. It was his like exoskeleton thingy. His shed. And I had to like pull it out of the tank. Who's got the red crayon? It's an Easter egg hunt. There seem to be fewer rules for protecting workers while they're working. The more things in place to protect them if they lose their job. Yeah, or things to protect the employers from being sued. Like, also. Like, they basically claim no liability anymore. Like, it's just like, oh, it's your fault. It's not our fault. Like, excuse me, what? Freshwater shrimps. I thought either a scarlet skunk or a peppermint shrimp, because they eat Aptasia, which is like a pest, an enemy. It's really gross. I wish I was a fish. Not to get eaten, but like I don't want to get eaten, but like I think it'd be fun to just swim all day for years and years. Well, that's good at least. That is very different though than what I'm used to. Oh, coloring. Yeah, so speaking of coloring, I have a little business venture that I'm wanting to look into. I'm thinking about, for any of you who are baby furs or in that community, I'm thinking about starting to sell my coloring pages. So, like, making and designing coloring pages and then selling them, maybe like on an Etsy store or something, or on my Discord even. What do you think about that? They'd be cheap. I mean, they wouldn't be. It's just line art for the most part. So I'd probably sell a coloring page for like, I don't know, depends on what it is, maybe like $5 to $10 or something like that. But you could, print it and color it, or you could digitally color it as many times as you want. It's just something I've been throwing around. Guess I'll make another one of these. I have a saltwater aquarium, but there's two different types of saltwater tanks that you can do. You can either do a Fowler tank, which stands for fish only with live rock, which is kind of what I have right now because it's just like rocks, sand, one fish. And then there's a reef community tank, which is like, you have coral, you have fish, you have, I don't know, like hermit crabs. You have a community tank. So you're basically simulating the ocean, essentially. And that's where I want to be at. And I'm really excited because this weekend is the Texas Coral Show, which is near me, and I'm going with my mom, and I'm probably gonna buy some stuff for my tank. So wasn't there a movie called Help, I'm a Fish? I thought it was made by the same people that did All Dogs Go to Heaven or something like that. It had that animation style. Or that dinosaur movie, We're Back. It was kind of like that style. Like back in the 90s or something. Yeah, I thought about that too, like making a coloring book and selling that. The only thing is like, I don't know, I kind of wanted it to be a digital thing because like it costs more to print them for me because like I'd have to get ink and then like, and if I went to like a book publishing type thing, that's gonna cost money depending on the quantity. That's why I wanted it to kind of be like a thing where like you could print it as many times as you want or whatever. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I might not even do it. I don't know. I feel like this bush over here just is not. It's not the vibe. This doesn't match the other two, so I'm making another one of these. I'm making personal pizza. That sounds really good. I'm making rice and chicken, which reminds me I probably need to check on my rice here in a second. We're almost at the hour mark, actually. Which is normally like how long I like to go for these live streams. Sorry. Yeah, so I was actually talking to my boss today about that. Like, because she was like, "Oh, I saw your fish. Like, you got me thinking I kind of want an aquarium." And I was like, "Hold on a second. Like, what kind of tank are we talking about? First of all, and second of all, how much time do you have?" I told her, I was like, "You better talk to me first, because a lot of people say they want to fish, but they don't understand like the work that goes into it, like the maintenance, and a lot of people like overfeed their fish and their tanks get nasty and they just like give up and let the fish die, and it's a whole thing." But she was like, "Well, I kind of want to fish like yours." And I was like, "Oh Lord." And then she goes she goes, "But I don't want to spend a lot of money." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. You need to stop, cuz like saltwater, I'm just going to say it, like the saltwater hobby, it's not hard. It is more expensive than freshwater, though. I will say that. That is a fact. So you should really only get into it if you're prepared to, like, dish out some dough. But gluten-free chocolate pillow cereal. Pillows? Does it taste like mattress? That's a reference to the Three Stooges, if y'all don't know. How's yours taste? Like mattress? Ah. Yeah, this song be getting it. Do 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 do. I'm gonna finish the bunny a different day. Do do do. Ah, no. Hold on. I can't fill those in because they have gaps. So you don't have chocolate pillows in the US? I mean, we have stuff like Cocoa Puffs, which I guess is maybe like the closest thing. It's basically just like a chocolate corn puff cereal. I don't know. And there's Puppy Chow, which is like not trail mix. It's like a chocolate Chex Mix, if you know what that is. I want Sophie in this, please. Okay, well, if you paid Alex and you sent me Sophie, I think I still have Sophie's ref sheet, then I can add you to it. Yeah, you could do a let's say draw like a storyline and then people could color their own. Yeah, we'll see. And they wouldn't be like super elaborate coloring pages, because I like drawing simple, cute things like baby furs or like, I don't know, chibi animals or something easy and simple. Okay, thanks, Speedy. I'll add you in. Um, let me see here. I have about 3 minutes left. Let me see. I think I can add you. Add. Okay, I just got Alex's message. Okay, you should be in the group now. I'll add you in. Trying to think what else has been going on with me lately for the last 2 minutes that I have with you. Like I said before, tomorrow or not tomorrow, sorry, Wednesday is podcast, and that will be with Kalani. I'm not sure what topic yet. I might have to look at that, but if you have an idea for a podcast topic, feel free to add it to our Google Doc that we have. You can add things to the list. If you go to like any of my recent podcast episodes, there's a link in the description box with a link to that Google Doc, and then it'll just bring you to that page, and you just add to the list. It's open to the public. You can put whatever you want as long as it's appropriate within reason for a podcast on YouTube. And we would really appreciate ideas, because I think we've done a lot of the ones that are on there. Ninja Turtle furries, are there any? Probably. I mean, technically, so if you're a reptile persona or character, you know, that would be classified as a scaly, I think. Technically, I'm half scaly because I'm half shark. Anything that's like a fish or like a reptile or an amphibian, I think, is known as a scaly. I could be wrong though. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna do these every Monday from like 7 to 8. That's my plan anyways. So if you like this, subscribe and turn on notifications and you'll get notified. Blah blah blah, YouTube things that you probably heard before if you watch YouTube on a regular basis like I do. If you hit the notification bell, you will get notified when I go live on Mondays. So, yeah. Any last words? Because I'm about to go. You have 20 seconds remaining. I gotta go check on my rice, which is my dinner. So, see you on Telegram. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.